imagery up here.
And welcome back to Couch Co. I'm going right into a cutscene because I didn't realize that's where I thought it would be another menu. And look, it's Virgil, and I'm here with Blademaster12349 and Doc Gracie and Movie.
Doesn't it excite you?
Movie. I forgot the popcorn.
Wait, we ain't got no popcorn?
No.
I'm leaving.
There's popcorn over there. You can make popcorn if you want to make popcorn.
You want me to pop some popcorn right now?
No, actually, bro, I'm good. I ate before I got here.
Would laugh my ass off. It's just in the background. You could hear like audio of popcorn.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
If you
take your mic and put it up to the microwave.
If you want popcorn, you can make popcorn. No one's gonna stop you from making popcorn. That's totally fine.
I bet you won't make me down popcorn. He's gonna go make.
Why you gotta do it like that? Why you gotta force the issue of popcorn being made?
How did I force the issue?
No one can visually see that he got up off of the couch and left to go make popcorn. Everyone's just like, why isn't Blade talking anymore?
You know, I'm not gonna eat any popcorn. I mean, if you want it for you.
Do you want popcorn? Like, we need to know. Are you the one that wants popcorn?
I mean, he's up right now making himself popcorn.
He won't even respond to us. I don't.
It's because there's no microphone on him. Like, how's he supposed to communicate without a microphone?
Look, remember how much trouble we had with Death, or I did?
Uh-huh. Did he just stab that dude in the dick?
No, he just sliced him in like threes or something.
Looked like it stabbed him in the dick.
I was about to say, if he just sliced him and started walking away, he just kept standing there going, understood, have a nice day.
Oh, Blade's back, everyone, by the way.
When he come back, I thought he went to make popcorn.
Oh, maybe you can still hear it.
Oh, we have pops. Whoever that is, they found it.
That's Lady.
Is it
That's Lady. Three. It was in a 3.
Mission 3, the Devil's Tower.
You need to cut that off 30 seconds before it's done. If you set it on 2. Did you put it on popcorn? What did you do?
I put it on popcorn.
No, popcorn's too long. When it stops popping, take it out. No, not now. Just.
Don't worry. I stopped it at 1 second. It didn't blow up.
Literally right in the nick of time.
Oh, thank the good Lord.
What would we have done?
No. Actions.
Don't worry, the bomb's defused.
Oh my god, I'm reading these as 1000s and stuff.
1 1000, 2 1000,
3 1000.
What style? I want to switch to Sword Master. Start mission. Doop, doop, doop. I have no confidence in myself.
Careful. Nice and hot.
Yeah. Well, I like it.
Oh, James Earl Jones.
Well, so far, what I have to say on the game is that the visuals are kind of cool.
Do you mean that in the setting or the graphics? Because this is
the setting.
Yeah, because this is the HD remaster of this game. Green orbs, they do stuff. Thank you.
I wonder if you should go through that door and telephones.
I knew how to do this.
You had to slash through the door to open it?
There was a button. I don't remember stuff.
My man don't know how a knob works?
Nah, man. You kidding me? He doesn't know how a shirt works. I don't know if you noticed.
So what, they ain't got doorknobs in hell? Blast off.
Ah. When the secret's behind the pachinko machines.
Are we sure that Konami didn't make this game? Oh, did I tell you I just recently did a replay of Symphony of the Night?
You did not tell me that.
Yeah, I just recently replayed Symphony of the Night. Particularly the like the PS4 version that comes with a Rondo of Blood. So they I don't know what they changed that like made it to where this was a thing, but essentially they make it ridiculously easy to break that game. Have you ever played it, Symphony of the Night?
Yes.
Okay. So you know, like pretty early on, like when you start playing as Alucard, you're going through the castle a little bit, and you're like OP'd as hell until you run into death. They made it ridiculously easy to skip the death cutscene, to where you never lose those overpowered items from the beginning. You keep them the whole freaking game, and pretty much damn near everything all the way up to the end is damn near a one-hit kill.
Wow.
Oh, shoot.
And like because of that, which I mean, you could potentially gain this item naturally playing the game anyway, but I never lost the Alucard shield. And like, dude, you can literally, if you have the Alucard shield and then later on find the shield rod in the castle, there is an unintended kind of a glitch thing that happens when you equip the shield rod and the Alucard shield and then press both attack buttons at the same time. It's meant to add an effect to the Alucard shield to where anytime you block anything with that shield, you gain health back. But somehow or another, it also adds an added effect to it where if you touch an enemy with the Alucard shield after you hit the two buttons together with the shield rod, the Alucard shield will pretty much instantly kill any enemy. To the point that the very final boss fight with Dracula, if you use the Alucard shield thing, takes 10 seconds.
Wow.
You literally just pull the shield out and touch him with it, and he'll die in 10 seconds.
Wow. And this is on the what'd you say, the remaster or collection?
The PS4. Well, I played it on my PS5, but yeah, it's like the PS4 release of it that's like packed with a Rondo of Blood. Now, apparently you can do, even in the original PlayStation release, you can do the death skip and keep everything too, but it's a lot harder to do in that version. Like, literally, something that they changed about it made it to where it's so ridiculously easy to do this skip. I did it on my first ever attempt. Where it's like there's a lot more tomfoolery you got to do it in the original release. But yeah, for the most part, it breaks the game. I will say that in some areas, the inverted castle is still just ridiculously hard, even with that. Except for the final boss fight. And I do gotta say now, because you know, my first time playing that game, I didn't even know about the inverted castle. Or well, I found out about it, but I didn't know specifically. Like, I thought you had to, like, explore the whole castle, get all the items, and then go to the Richter fight. Like, I didn't realize, or I missed that you have to have, like, whatever the glasses are, the goggles that you have to have so that you can see the orb, and then, like, get the true ending to that fight and get the inverted castle. I didn't know. So, I just killed Richter the first time I ever played the game. And then I found out about it, so I went ahead and made it a point to get the inverted castle this time around. I will say the inverted castle kind of kills the pacing of the game. Not really a fan. I just discovered a hole in my side.
How long you had that? Just now?
For sure, I discovered it just now. No telling how long it's actually been there. Who are we fighting? Cerberus?
Cerberus! This is why I say death is a mini boss fight, because then this is the next fight.
You gotta hit the Ghibli bits.
Not Ghibli bits.
Oh shit, yo! Haha, you son of a bitch!
Oh, that was nice.
You know, I was thinking of something the other day, and I'm kind of curious.
Uh-huh.
Do you know we've discussed the whole issues with porting PS3
Yes.
and things like that? And that being a large part of why most PS3 titles just end up getting a remastered native PS4 or PS5 version of the game instead of just like a port of the PS3 ROM.
Yeah.
Right.
I noticed, and like, I guess what I'm curious is if it's for a similar reason. But you notice it's kind of the same thing with Nintendo, with GameCube. Like most, everything from the GameCube era that's been re-released on Switch, same thing.
Yeah.
Now, all I know is, and I know they've got more in the works, but all I know of is Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2, and then they've got, you know, Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door on the way. What else from the GameCube do they have on Switch? Because I genuinely don't know.
Prime 1
Okay.
and Mario Sunshine.
Oh, right.
Off top of my head are the only two I can remember.
Right. I forgot about that.
I feel like there's a possibility there's some others too that I'm just not thinking of.
I do wish they did more with the GameCube for Switch, because
Who knows? I'm not even sure myself.
there's a lot of games that are not only expensive for the GameCube, but they are they're, you know, kind of sought after or cult classics like what's it called? Gotcha Machine, Gotcha Monsters, something like that. Where you'll play as robots. Honestly, I don't know much about the game, but it's one of those games people really like, but you can't get because it's too expensive.
With the GameCube in general is kind of a system that I feel like it got the love and respect it deserves way too late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's way more beloved in hindsight.
because it did do poorly.
Yeah.
When it first came out.
You know, interestingly enough, from that generation, the GameCube ends up being the system from that generation I find myself longing to play the most.
Are you going to the party?
And it's like, even,
Didn't you get an invitation?
like, because the thing about it is like with PlayStation 2. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, here we go. There it is!
Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. But with PlayStation 2, it's like I find myself being perfectly content with going back and playing a PS2 game in like a PS3, PS4, or PS5 remastered version of them. Like, I'm fine with playing it that way. But there's something about GameCube where it's like that's the whole reason why I was so gung-ho about fixing my GameCube, even though my Wii needs to be repaired as well. But it's like, even like, there's just something about the GameCube
This just keeps
and
getting better.
playing a GameCube game on original hardware, like not even using a Wii to do it, like playing it on a GameCube, that it's just like I get so nostalgic for it. You know, that whole, like that boot up screen on the GameCube is you know, and there's something like I think the controller is very underappreciated. And it just, I mean, the games were like, I don't recall ever playing a bad GameCube game.
I played.
Yeah.
I even played like something that was
Looks like we have an uninvited guest.
multi-platform, which was the Lord of the Rings games.
Mm-hmm.
I played that on GameCube first, and then I played it again on PlayStation 2, and honestly, I felt like I preferred the GameCube version. It just felt more fun, more arcadey, like going through that game.
There were even like some Tony Hawk games from that era that to me were better on GameCube.
Storm is approaching.
Like I think maybe Tony Hawk Underground or Tony Hawk Underground 2. And I played it, I believe it's Tony Hawk Underground 2, and I played on both the GameCube and the Xbox. And there was something about, I mean, the thing that was cool about playing a Tony Hawk on the Xbox is it took advantage of the Xbox's ability to rip CDs to the hard drive. And so, like, your soundtrack while you're skating could be whatever you had on the hard drive save, which was cool.
That's pretty cool.
But there was something about playing a Tony Hawk game on a GameCube controller just felt right. And I still, like, but I maintain, I think the GameCube was a better console than the original Xbox. And nothing against the original Xbox. But I think it was a better console.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You just always disagree with me on stuff.
Well, that one's kind of, I feel like that one's kind of a big one to make, not just because of gaming, because of everything else that the Xbox did.
What? Saved music CDs?
Well,
Like
music
DVDs?
CDs and DVDs and media stuff and all that kind of thing. I think that kind of puts it above the GameCube just because of that. If we're talking about just games, yeah, I can get on board with that. But as a console in general, I don't think I can agree with that.
So wait, you're saying that, like, part of it with Xbox is its ability to play DVDs?
Being a full-on media system, yeah. I mean, if we're talking about the overall, oh wow, I missed that. An overall device in general, yeah, I have to like count every aspect of what it can do.
I get what you're saying, because it had, because if you just boot up both consoles and just look through them, the GameCube just had a calendar, and you look at the memory cards and probably one other thing, and that's about it. But with the Xbox, you had the media component, you had online.
Yeah,
You had-
Xbox,
GameCube technically had online.
but like Xbox
It did.
Live, like what Xbox Live did was like, I mean, you're absolutely right when it comes to like just games and gameplay and stuff. I mean, Halo's a big contender and everything, but like when you factor in everything, like original Xbox just like takes the cake.
Now, I will give the original Xbox its flowers in the sense that I think it deserves the most credit for laying the groundwork for where online connectivity and console gaming is today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it deserves out of that generation, deserves the most credit for that. 100%. Even though all of its competition also had online capabilities, like, clearly the way online gaming, online console gaming operates and functions today, the original Xbox laid the most groundwork for that.
Yeah.
Easily. Like, I will give it that. And the thing is, like, because I don't say what I said a minute ago out of hatred for the Xbox, because despite me not being a major Xbox guy, the original Xbox is still my favorite Xbox console.
It is for me as well.
Yeah, it's easily still the best Xbox console, in my opinion. Even though the 360 was the one that won, like, its console generation war, to me, like, on a technical side, yes, it was better than the original Xbox, but to me, there's more factors and some more subjective that factor into a console being, quote, better or worse. And for me, the original Xbox is still the best Xbox. But again, I don't find myself as nostalgic for the original Xbox as I do the GameCube.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, yeah. What you're saying is like, I totally agree that the GameCube was like underappreciated. It should have sold way better. It was an amazing console. It does not deserve to have the mark that it does in the Nintendo world.
Well, at the very least, it doesn't have the mark for being the worst Nintendo console.
Yeah. What was its? Was it competing with the? It was competing with the PlayStation 2?
With the 2 and the original Xbox.
I think it's better than the PlayStation 2.
I won't altogether disagree with that argument, actually.
I think it's very close, and I think it's like worth a debate. I don't think it's like oh my god.
Wait,
no.
so then would you say the original Xbox is better than the PlayStation 2?
DVDs.
PlayStation 2 had DVD capabilities.
I don't think you could play a DVD on the original.
Oh, you sure?
Yes, you
PlayStation 2.
absolutely
Sure as
could.
hell could.
And not only that, the difference between the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, you could play DVDs on the PlayStation 2 without having to make an extra purchase. Because you had to buy a remote to play DVDs on the original Xbox. You couldn't use a controller, whereas you could with the PS2.
So this is weird. Bringing it up, it's something to think about. I would 100% take the as a console, Xbox over GameCube. The game selection, GameCube over Xbox.
And I gotta take that sock off, it's annoying me now.
I still think I still think Xbox is a better console than PlayStation, PlayStation 2, just because.
Are you in sort of like a rock beats paper beats rock beats scissors, scissor beats paper sort of situation?
You know, I don't know. It's weird. I think the original Xbox was made better than the PlayStation 2. I think maybe PlayStation 3 is where PlayStation really started to get me. I mean, PlayStation had Devil May Cry and stuff like that, but I think I was just playing more Xbox games back then.
I'm with you on the idea of GameCube and PS2 being fairly close with each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we can't deny that PS2 is still the greatest selling console of all time.
Oh yeah, there's no denying that.
Can't deny that part.
I think it has to do with the games, though.
Probably so. But I don't know that I'm with you on that Xbox thing, though, because again, even though it is my favorite version of the Xbox, one thing I'll say, as someone that has owned all three of those consoles, multiple consoles, because like I think I've had like 3 original Xboxes in my life. I've had probably about 4 PS2s. Yeah, because I want to say that I had a Fat Boy first. I actually traded it to a classmate of mine for a guitar, and then ended up getting another one later on. That second one crapped out on me, and then like I eventually ended up buying like a Slim after it came out. My first Slim crapped out on me because those were made fucking terribly.
Yeah.
And then I ended up one of the Silver Slims was the last PS2 I owned. And then like even with my GameCube, I think I'm on my second or third GameCube that I've owned. And out of the 3 of those, hands down, with just simply with playing games, over the years, I've noticed the most performance issues out of the Xbox. But that's just my experience, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, easily the Xbox has always had the most performance issues out of those 3.
I'm sorry, what did that say?
With a round indentation.
Rotating.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I would dare say out of those three systems, the original Xbox is the only system that had games that I attempted to play on it that were such buggy, glitchy messes they were unplayable. And then, like I said, never run into that with the GameCube, never run into that with the PS2, but ran into it big time on Xbox. Which, granted, most of the ones that I ran into on Xbox that did that were like old WWE games. Like, WrestleMania 21 for the original Xbox is easily not only the worst wrestling video game ever made, I would, as far as just a product that was put out to the general masses with a lot of problems, bugs, and all that, it may be one of the worst video games ever released.
Now, I haven't played the game you're talking about, but I have played some pretty bad wrestling games.
Oh, there's plenty of them out there. But it just, like I said, the problem with WrestleMania 21 is it's literally a buggy, glitchy mess.
It was bad.
I would say probably the worst one I ever played, and it's weird because I did find enjoyment in it at the same time, but was probably WCW Nitro for the PS1. It was essentially Mortal Kombat, but a wrestling game. Like, because it was like still, you know, that era where even a basic wrestling move you want to do in the game, it's like a Mortal Kombat style button code input to do like a body slam. And then, of course, also it was button input.
So it was a wrestling game, but it played like a fighting game.
Yes. And it was. Well, that didn't work out in your favor.
No, it did not.
But yeah, it was not great. All the wrestling games that Acclaim made were not very good either. So, and the three that I know of off the top of my head, and there's probably more, but the three that I know of off the top of my head were WWF Warzone, WWF Attitude, and then I can't remember the name of it, but after they lost the deal to do the WWF games, they did an ECW game, which was essentially WWF Attitude reskinned with ECW stuff. But yeah, like those were not very good. And they also kind of followed the fighting game button input to do moves formula. Like easily to me, I would say, I would go as far as to say that nobody made a really great wrestling game until THQ. Which is interesting because THQ made WCW Nitro.
Really?
Yeah. It was bizarre, like, and especially like all of THQ's wrestling games for the PlayStation 1 sucked until they started doing SmackDown. Like when they got the WWF branch deal and they started doing SmackDown, then all of a sudden like the PS1 wrestling games were like just top tier. Because of SmackDown. They were always killing it on the N64 because with THQ you had WCW versus the World. WCW versus the World was a PlayStation game, never mind. On N64 you had WCW NWO World Tour, WCW NWO Revenge, WWF WrestleMania 2000, and then what most people consider for sure the best wrestling game ever on the N64, WWF No Mercy. Those were all THQs. But then, yeah, when THQ started doing the SmackDown games for PlayStation, that's when wrestling games really got good. And then, of course, THQ continued to do those into the SmackDown vs. Raw era of WWE 12 and 14. And then, of course, starting in 2014, 2K took it over. And to me, WWE games have not been great since.
I agree with that. Have you played, something like, TNA Impact? Or like,
I always wanted to play the TNA game. I never got a chance to.
I did, and I will be honest, I didn't like it, and I can't remember why I didn't.
Oh, I'm sure it's not great, but it was just still a thing of wanting to experience. That's just like, as I understand it, the AEW video game is terrible. Which is interesting because the AEW video game is made by THQ.
A Nordic company.
Huh?
A Nordic company.
Yeah. But yeah, and it was made by THQ, and it was meant to be like a modern extension of the style of games that they made with the N64 game. Like, yeah, the AEW game was essentially like if they were still making wrestling games like No Mercy. But I've heard nothing but bad things about it.
The only other wrestling game I would have wanted to play was, because at the time I was watching Lucha Underground. I wanted to play the AAA Lucha game. I think that was on PS3 sort of generation. I don't know if you know about that one.
Yeah, I loosely do. I'll tell you another thing. Going back to like the Gamecube and wrestling games, do you know like that era, the Gamecube, PS2, Xbox era? Basically, wrestling games, even when it was for the same wrestling promotion, they weren't cross-platform. Like all of like PlayStation had all of its own WWF games. Gamecube had all its own exclusive WWF games, and then Xbox had their exclusives. Now, all of the Xbox exclusive WWF games were fucking trash.
Yeah. I know Xbox had, it was a weird thing because PlayStation had SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then Xbox, that meant
Raw.
Xbox got Raw. And the Raw games, I've heard, are abysmal.
Oh,
They're
they are
terrible.
They are so bad. And like about the only thing worse than the Raw games is WrestleMania 21, which came after the Raw games. But yeah, the Xbox WWF games are terrible. But, and obviously with that era, the wrestling games that people look back the most fondly on are the PlayStation ones because it was the SmackDown series. GameCube's WWF games were not bad at all, though. You had WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 19, Day of Reckoning, and Day of Reckoning 2. Now, I personally did not play didn't get to play the Day of Reckoning games, but I did play WrestleMania 18 and 19, and those games were fucking fun, dude. They were so good. But yeah, another example of GameCube being underappreciated, like their wrestling games were top notch. Why did he just randomly kick the door?
He's trying to get through it, man. It opened, but now he's like, yo, bitch, you opened before. I'm gonna get you to open again.
He's like, the fuck?
There's no need to use violence, devil boy.
Never boy.
Better listen.
So unnecessary, the door kick, though. That's another thing. We were talking earlier about the unnecessariness of Twin Snake's of Solid Snake pointing his gun at Baker's head. There's another very unnecessary moment in Twin Snake that makes 0% sense to me.
I think that's the point of Twin Snakes, though.
The fuck did he take a running start and try to drop kick Metal Gear Rex for at the start of the fight?
We saw that he did not try to drop kick.
Yes, the fuck
no,
he did. He
didn't.
took a running start.
I will
he
die.
jumped
No,
and kicked that damn thing.
Dog, I will die on this hill. He was
I
just
will die on this hill.
He
I'll
was
shoot you
just
on
trying
this
to
hill.
jump onto Rex, and he got blocked. Dude, like,
The fuck was
rewatch
he
it.
gonna do even if that plan worked?
Crawl up to liquid
The mouth?
to the mouth.
Which was sealed tight.
I don't think it's a decent argument. I think any soldier of his
I know
capabilities
anything
would
negative
do it.
I say about Twin Snakes, you're not gonna think is a decent argument.
I mean, you have some decent arguments, maybe. No, actually, your Baker thing is a decent argument. I just like it. I don't have a problem with it. Your Baker thing, totally decent argument. You're totally right. You're 100% correct. It's unnecessary. It's wacky. It's weird. I don't think it's out of place. I think it's fine.
Dancing on the ceiling.
I'm gonna tell my cousin who's a cop to like handle like next time he's dealing with like a kidnapping or something. Just be like, dude, just ask him who was it kidnapped you.
Who wasn't kidnapped?
I don't know. Just point the gun at their head for not knowing who kidnapped them. Because apparently that's acceptable in Peasants world.
I don't think that's a comparison, but okay.
He was literally rescuing someone who got kidnapped. Needed some info from him. The person who got kidnapped, who he was rescuing, did not have the information he needed. So he pointed a gun at his head.
No, look, you're right. You're 100% correct. Yes, you are 100% correct. I just like Trickster better. It doesn't bother me because it just works in the sense he's a part of a secret agent thing that's not even recognized by the government fully. He's this weird like super soldier thing. They're dealing with nukes. He's under intense high stress. Like I feel like it fits. I don't have a problem with it as far as like a movie representation, action movie representation goes.
Ooh, another thing about that section of the game that it's something else brand new I just learned. And it pertains to the line that he points the gun at his head for in Twin Snakes. But the whole, what's Meryl's frequency? Oh, it may be on the back of the CDK Stratocontactor. You know how he gives you the optical disc?
Yeah, you can check. You can get get it off that.
Yeah, I just learned that if you look at the optical disc and then go into the codec thing, her number will be there.
Is that a Twin Snakes thing, or is that a...
I don't... it's probably a both thing.
Thanks for destroying the luck for me, devil boy.
That would be a really weird thing for it to be just a Twin Snakes thing.
Please accept my gift. Don't be humble. Just take it. After all, we're buddies, aren't we?
You ain't my buddy.
Are we?
Are we friends?
I do have to say something that... Because I just feel like, in general, I just like Twin Snakes better than the original. There's not too many things that
I get it. You played it first. That's what it boils down to. You played it first.
I mean, I guess so, but I can't... No, it's not. Play the PC version first.
The PC version of one you played before Twin Snakes?
Yeah. So I played Integral before Twin Snakes. Which is... no! Why do I have Cerberus?
Because you selected it?
No, I switched from Cerberus, or so I thought.
Well, apparently you didn't.
Yeah, anyway, which... The PC port of Metal Gear Solid 1 is a horrible port. So I had I might as well have not played the game.
Well, then that to me that still counts the same as saying that you played Twin Snakes first, because in that case Twin Snakes would have been your first good experience with that game.
You know what it also is?
Huh.
Metal Gear Solid 2 was my first Metal Gear game.
Yeah, that plays a big part too.
Yeah, that plays a big part in it. I forgot what I was going to say.
Because here's an interesting thing. There are things about Twin Snakes that, from what little memory I have of it from back then, that I do think is better than the original. But there's just a lot of things that I think are inferior. One of the things that I also go back on a lot of time is translation-wise, the script for Twin Snakes, the English script for it, is more of a one-to-one of the Japanese script, as opposed to like doing like a translation where you're also taking into account translating it to where it flows right for our language. A lot of Twin Snakes is just more of a one-to-one translation of... It's like the difference in watching an anime and seeing a dub versus seeing the English subtitles of the Japanese version. And, and it's always kind of different that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing, and to me, the translation in parts is not nearly as good.
Okay, so I have Trickster, so I can move, and I don't, and I have Cerberus. Oh, wait, do I...
No.
Oh, I don't have Cerberus anymore. How does that work? Okay.
I see what they're doing with this boss fight, and I'm gonna be honest, it looks kind of fun.
I have no idea why we're fighting Jester. It makes no sense in the story, and it's just kind of here, and you fight him a couple of times. I don't know why we're fighting Jester.
I don't know, but you're whooping that ass right now.
Now I am, because I don't have servers anymore.
Did I tell you I just finished another playthrough of Metroid Dread?
No, I have not heard any of this. What? You did another playthrough of Metroid Dread?
I did a 100% item completion run of Dread.
Oh my god.
After the... I remember you telling me how you couldn't last time, yeah?
Dude, I got actually really, really good at the Shine Spark puzzles this time around. To the point that I think skill-wise, like in terms of just, you know, skill and being good, I may be better at Metroid Dread than any other Metroid game.
By the way, Blade, we own this game now, so if you wanna, you can.
If I want to what?
If you want to play ever outside of this, I've got all the games now.
All right.
He essentially, I think, wanted to use my PlayStation Plus to get this.
Yeah, because you could stream the HD collection with PlayStation Plus, but
until someone stole my my banking information, so until I get a new card in, which I have not gotten the new card in, and the renewal came up on my PlayStation Plus, so I'm without PlayStation Plus until my banking information gets all settled. So that's at first he was like, "Can you bring your PS3?"
because I was just gonna go to Game Exchange and buy the PlayStation 3 version of the HD remaster.
Which I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't end up having to bring it, considering that I brought 2 other consoles here.
Yeah, that would have been a lot. I'm trying to look cool, and I can just walk around.
Yeah, you can literally just walk around.
Why? Thank you, Trickster.
Go get him.
But okay, this is the weirdest thing. So the HD remaster of PS4 HD remaster of this game is $20, or on sale for $15 was the HD remaster for PlayStation 4 and 4 for $15. So I just,
sometimes the way they do these deals don't make any sense.
yeah.
Are we getting close to time, or?
Oh yeah. Actually, after the Jester fight, I can probably call it here.
Yeah.
And go on to the next
this is a long episode here.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I probably will cut some stuff out just because nobody wants to really see me die.
I want to see you die.
And thank you everybody for watching this episode of Couch Co-op. Playing some Devil May Cry 3 here with the boys. I have been your host, Peasant, and I've been here with Blademaster12349 and Doc Gracie.
Why don't I get cool numbers like Blade?
You didn't choose them. They're literally names that you both pick. You can make them whatever you want.
His works better without numbers.
You know, I want numbers.
More numbers?
I want to be like that guy on Twitter. First name, lots of numbers. I want to give my unsolicited opinions on shit that nobody wants to hear.
Everybody, stay comfy out there.
Oh boy.